Dana Loesch is a nationally syndicated radio host who joins me now. So, Dana, do you even think Muriel Bowser knows what she's saying is exactly what Texas, Arizona have been saying for, I don't know, a year and a half?
Oh, Jesse, I am made of opinions on this. First off, were the people tricked to cross the border? I'm confused. When I hear her statement, and I frankly find that to be a statement of a grifter politician, because this is the tab that border states like Texas, the state in which I reside, by the way, Texas, Arizona, and so many other border states have been dealing with for a long time. In fact, our AG estimated that it's about $850 million, the bill to deal with all of this problem created by this administration at the border. But on her topic of being tricked, you know who's being tricked, Jesse? The people being tricked are the people who are immigrating to the United States, because everyone is told, come here. They always cite the inscription on the Statue of Liberty, and Democrats for so long have said, yes, come to the United States where you can be free and enjoy the fruits of your labor. And then, Jesse, do you know what happens? They're tricked by Democrats, because after people come here to the United States, legal immigrants, then they're tricked with high taxes. They're tricked with high crime rates. They are tricked, like Jose Alba was tricked after he opened up a bodega, not a bogota, like Jill Biden said. At least know what you're talking about. Tricked like Jose Alba, who owns and operates his own business, became a citizen of this country 14 years ago, and he was tricked by the very Democrats who love to say that they're all there for people who immigrate into the United States. But where are they when immigrants like Jose Alba find themselves in trouble, find themselves thrown in Rikers? They're nowhere to be found. Muriel Bowser has been nowhere to be found at these shelters. Did she go down there, her or any of these other Democrats, and try to get any of these people jobs or become on the pathway to citizenship instead of complaining about them? Jesse, my whole point about this is that if the Hamptons was at the border, Democrats would have built a wall 20 years ago.
No, you're damn straight about that. It is silly that she's saying that the homeless shelters are at full capacity in her own city and they can't handle any more extra people in homeless shelters. Well, gee whiz, Muriel, how did you get so many gosh darn homeless people in your city?
Exactly. It's their policies to blame. Maybe they should do something other than talk about Build Back Better and other things that are just going to spend us more into debt. Do something about it. And also, they can pay their fair share of the problems at the border. Let's have D.C. pick up some of the tab that us Texas taxpayers have been having to deal with, that us Texas residents, that Arizonans have had to deal with for far too long. Let's have some of these other people that talk a good game about immigration and illegal entry. Let's have them pay their fair share.
Well, if these illegals were smart, they'd hire a lobbyist, and then they just throw an earmark in, and Congress would just start throwing money at them. That's how you do it in D.C. It's the only way to survive. Dana Loesch, fired up. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, Jesse.